Welcome to Show Em The Dore, where for the first time in weeks, we can talk about good things on the podcast. My name is Christopher Conway. I'm one of your hosts. This is my lovely co-host, Willem. And today we have an episode that's actually filled with positivity for once. I'm very excited about this episode. It's been a bit of a week for both Willem and I. And I can say that this is the highlight of my week, and I'm so excited to spend it with you guys. Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
I'm the Vanna White of this podcast.
Yeah, you're the
and my lovely co-host.
My lovely,
like I'm the lady that's like, show him what he's won.
Show him what he's won, Willem.
I'm Vanna White.
You're there turning the letters.
I'm like, I'd like to buy a vowel.
Vanna's like anything you'd like.
None. So yeah, we just got a couple games, I think 4.
Yeah, we have 4 games to talk about today, but we have a couple housekeeping things to get to before we get into the games today.
We don't keep our house. We
keep mini houses. But first and foremost, we have to remind you of our very special episode for next week, where we will have the one, the only, the Cam Johnson. I was going to say Cameron, but is it Cameron?
It's both. Yeah, but he goes by Cam.
Okay, I'm not going to disrespect my boy's name.
Cameroon.
Cameroon Johnson, who will be coming on next week. He'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a great episode. We'll have some insights there. Maybe we'll talk about his. He's grad transferring, and so maybe we'll get to hear about his process through that.
Wrestle him.
Yeah, I'm gonna arm wrestle
him. I'm like, this is for your spot on the team.
Yeah, and so Willem will be on the Vanderbilt football team by the end of next week, because Lord knows he's jacked.
Honestly, one of my friends walked on to the football team last year.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's that like? What's the process like? And he's like, you just try out. And I'm like, so I could just try out? And he's like...
I mean, not you.
I mean, he was like, hypothetically, yeah, what did you play in high school? And I'm like, I didn't. And he's like...
Then you wouldn't.
Then you can't try out. But I think so. That obviously isn't going to be my route in. So I think I do have to be best Cam Johnson
in an arm wrestling
an arm wrestle. It's actually gaining his spirit.
There's 2 ways to get on the football team.
There's tryouts and
direct arm wrestle meeting. Besting a former starter in arm wrestling,
but only one that's a senior that's transferring.
Right. And so Cam. That's the reason we actually targeted Cam Johnson.
Yeah, he was chosen for a specific purpose.
Other than that, do we have...
For such a time as this.
Other than that, do we have any housekeeping?
No, we never really do.
No, but we just talk about random things.
We just do stuff. Yeah, okay. Men's basketball. We had a...
So yeah, I guess we'll start in the games. This episode is definitely might be a little bit more down to business.
It's gonna be different.
We've, we actually have had a pretty exhausting week. I know I was sick terribly for like 2 days.
He was dying.
I actually was legit. At one point, it was like 5 a.m. and I was like, man, maybe this is the end. I was like, there might not be any more. And then Willem's had about 1.5 million commitments. And so we haven't actually had a lot of time together. This is probably the longest we'll spend together talking for a while.
Yeah, true. Sometimes we just stare at each other in our free time.
Yeah, I look deeply into his eyes.
He had the emphasis on us talking together because we don't. We just communicate like that, and we get it. And it's just like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But let's get into men's basketball. So we had 2 games. We won one and lost one, but they were both good, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So the first game we played against Georgia, and Georgia is a worse team than us. We should beat Georgia. They're just like kind of meh. They have one really good player. His name is Aaron Cook. But other than that,
I don't think Aaron Cook's even that great.
Really? I think he's pretty solid.
He is pretty solid, but like in terms of production, he can't carry a team. He went to Gonzaga last year, so I know a lot about him. Great guy. I love him to my very soul. I think I've like DM'd him on Instagram and talked to him. But he's a cool guy. So he's there. He's their dude. It's very on brand for me.
Yeah. But so we beat them.
Weak team, and we got them. We bested them. So it's good to see after the Carolina loss.
Right. That was women's, but yeah.
Oh shoot. No. Who did the men lost to a bum team too?
Yeah, maybe we did lose to South Carolina, but South Carolina isn't the bum team that we lost to.
We should have won.
Yeah, but we beat Georgia 85-77. And it was the first time we've swept an SEC opponent since 2017. And that might be because of the fact that they were like an extraordinarily weak SEC team. But it's also kind of a testament to Jerry Stack. J Stack, if you will. Stacky J. You know, I was pretty critical of Stack this past week. And I think that what had happened in those games deserved the criticism I gave. However, these two games that I'm about to talk about, I think that it's the opposite. I think he coached extremely well. So against Georgia, I know Pip put up 23 and Jordan Wright put up 14. We had double digits also from Miles Studi and Rodney Chapman. It was like the epitome of what would make a Vanderbilt basketball team win more consistently. Everybody was putting up good points. Everybody was contributing on defense. I think that our defensive ceiling is a lot higher than allowing 77 points to Georgia, as we'll talk about in a second. But overall, I think it was a good game. I think that there isn't really anything to complain about in an 8-point win, no matter what, but especially when you had been struggling for the past couple weeks and you're playing a team you should beat. A lot of times that could maybe be a trap game. And I'm really glad that it didn't end up being a trap game for Vanderbilt basketball. And it turned out all right. So moving on to the next game, we played Kentucky. And so you might be thinking, oh God, it's going to be another blowout. But
Big Blue.
We only lost by 7 points.
That's nuts.
We also only let up 77 points. And I think it's important to talk about the difference between letting up 77 points to Georgia and giving up 77 points to Kentucky.
Kentucky's a title contender, man.
Yeah, Kentucky is like a legitimate team.
They have a player of the year. Yeah. They've got a great coach. They've got real talent, and they really perform. But this season, man, even though we got killed by them earlier in the season, we went on an 11-0 run in the first half, and we ended the game on an 18-0 run. Yeah. And then this year, we were down 10 at the half, but we
only lost by 7.
Meaning we won the second half against Kentucky. Such a nice Kentucky team.
So I think that there's plenty to be proud of in that loss.
Oh, yeah.
Pippen put up 33 points. The only
that's
thing...
quite a few.
Yeah, that's more than 20.
True.
The only thing that I can think of when it comes to any complaints regarding the Kentucky game is you really wish we had anybody else but Pippen scoring. Other than him, Jordan Wright had 14, and Jordan Wright's actually started to come on as that second option that's reliable, which is why I think we've been a little bit more competitive in the last 2 games. But other than that, we didn't have anybody else in double digits, and I just don't really think a team can win without either a lot of people having 8, which didn't happen. 2 of our starters had 0 points. But either there needs to be multiple people in double digits, or there needs to be a lot of people with 7, 8. And we just didn't have that. And I think that with a 33-point night from Scottie Pippen, I think that we have to win the game. I think that it's progress. But as we continue to take the next step forward when it even comes to next season, I think that is Scottie Pippen leaving this year? After the season?
If I were him, I probably would.
Do you think he's going to?
I haven't seen anything saying he was, but you know how things go.
Well, he might be leaving this year, in which case that will be an interesting hit to the Vanderbilt basketball team. But if he stays next season, we should have a much more solid and experienced core around him. That would be even a potentially decent basketball team, But overall, I was pretty happy with how men's basketball went. I think that what I saw in the previous 2 games I talked about last week, everything bad that I saw didn't happen in this week, which is, I mean, it might just be the inconsistencies of coaching, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was a little too critical of Jerry Stackhouse, where I said he was not coaching well. And that might have been true, but I think I might have, instead of saying he wasn't coaching well, I should have said he was in a dip in his inconsistency. Because, every coach has their bad games and bad stretches.
Yeah.
It's the great coaches that mitigate those and limit them to a game or limit those to a very small stretch of time. Whereas, maybe it's just because Vanderbilt basketball hasn't won in a while that I was like, it doesn't, it's bad coaching. Where these two games have really showed that it wasn't bad coaching. It was more inconsistency in coaching.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm pretty excited for the next few games. I want to see what Vandy can do to kind of start to close out the year. Not that the year is too... I mean, it's getting kind of close. It's about to be February.
Yeah. We're nearing the end.
Yeah. But baseball is going to start up in a couple weeks, which will be very, very, very fun to talk about because we'll have plenty of, hopefully, wins. And if not, we'll have more in-depth to talk about. So with that being said, what do you got for women's?
Real quick to come back a little bit, Scottie Pippen Jr. is not really being looked into a lot in NBA things.
Really?
Totally makes sense in my opinion. He's not really a true point guard. He's 6'1", you know what I mean? This is comparing him to like a Fred VanVleet, who no one was ever really excited about ever.
Yeah.
Until now, because he's absolutely carrying the Raptors. He's an all-star this year. They also compared him to Nigel Williams-Goss, the old Gonzaga player, which I thought was interesting, and the smaller Jalen Brunson. So, like, they're saying he's like second-round talent. So I think he could stay all 4 years.
Being such a natural scorer, that's surprising.
Yeah, he's a unit. But that's just something there. So we played 2 games.
Okay.
Of women's basketball in addition to men's.
While you look at that, I read something about our scouting for maybe either football or basketball in terms of signing some like big talent. That's what I'm looking at.
Signing day was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we got 4 letters of intent, but I feel like it was like some pretty solid people. So I'll get back to that.
It was me. I signed by letter of intent. So we started off against 9-11, 1-8 in the conference, Auburn.
Oh.
So they suck.
Oh.
Auburn's not good. Never mind the fact that we were, 1-5 in the conference at the time. That's besides the point.
Mm-hmm.
So, they weren't doing great. We started off the game on a 0-7 skid a bit, so we were down a bit. We came back and then just absolutely kind of killed them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We ended up winning that game 81-66, which is real nice. Our leading scorer was Brene Alexander, who's just really fully established herself as the dominant scorer for our team and a big leader for us. She played 40 minutes, shot 6 of 10, 2 of 4 from the three-point line, and 10 for 10 from the free throw line. So she really performed. In addition to 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Ayana Moore getting some hefty minutes again, 37. She shot 5 of 6 from a 3-point line to finish with 22 points. That's very nice. 3 steals and 7 assists along with that. Good stuff. Jordan Cambridge, who is really a leader on our team, like we said last week. Naismith Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Good stuff. Leader on our team, putting up stats such as 8 of 12 shooting, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. That's good stuff. She may have a lot of turnovers here and there, but it doesn't really matter.
She can clean that up.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, I mean, she's like a senior, so she's not really going to progress.
She's not going to clean that up.
But it doesn't really matter when she's shooting 8 of 12.
She's a million steals
and getting steals and assists. She breaks even with it, if not grossing more. So good game, good stuff. It's I think it's like the prototypical winning Vanderbilt basketball.
Yeah,
I think if
much like the Georgia game for us.
Yes, if you get big minutes and big points for Brene, big minutes and a lot of shots for Ayana, and Jordan is doing well, you're gonna win games.
Right.
And so I think that was very successful. I think like the absolute buffoon I am, I skipped the Kentucky game. So we played Auburn a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Before that, my apologies, viewers. A couple days before that, we played the University of Kentucky. And it was a tight game throughout looking at the game cast, but we kind of broke off in the second half of it. And we ended up winning 65-57.
Whoa!
Good stuff. That's a dub against a pretty good team. I think now they're 10-8, which is like
roughly us.
Wow. Kentucky had one girl come off the bench.
They played 6 players?
They played a rotation of 6 athletes.
They were so tired.
Wow, that's us.
Yeah, that was us.
Intramural ball.
But only playing a 48-minute D1 basketball game.
We could do it. I'm kidding. We can't.
I'd be like,
Coach, I need a sub. And they're like,
we don't got no subs.
We haven't done the tip yet. We have not done the jump ball. Game hasn't even started. You're shooting warm-up free throws. Get a grip. So in this game, get hold of yourself. This game, Brene Alexander, 26 points.
Is this the 8 steal game?
Yeah, you'll see that. 26 points for Brene. Filling up the stat sheet, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Ayana in 40 minutes shot a little poorly, 3 for 15, not great. 9 points, but she had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals, so it's okay. We still won. And then, Jordan Cambridge. Though she had 9 points, and though she only took 9 shots, though she had 3 rebounds, she had 6 assists, a block, and 8 steals.
8.
8? Do you know how many steals the team of Kentucky had? 9!
Man.
Do you know how many steals we had?
11.
11. She had 8 of our 11 steals.
Imagine getting...
If that's not defensive prowess, I don't know what is.
Vanderbilt does a thing where every time either a women's or men's team gets 3 steals, you get free fries from Shake Shack rather. I'm used to Steak and Shake in Knoxville, but Shake Shack,
Steak and Shake.
It's not as good. That's not the point though.
Hold on,
Shake and Steak.
there's
Shake Shack.
Shake Shack and Steak and Shake. Which one's better?
Shake Shack, easy.
Shake Shack. I was about to say, I thought I get it backwards, and I was like, I'm going postal.
Shake Shack is so much more expensive, but so much better.
Yeah,
Steak Shake.
I've never had a good experience at Steak and Shake.
No.
I waited 50 minutes.
Yeah, and then you get it,
and it was bad. And I'm like, I don't ever want to come back.
I thought the burgers are fine, but they leave me wanting more, and the fries are not good. But the shakes are okay.
Easy. Did I have the shake? It was 7 years ago. I don't remember.
You couldn't drink milk.
now I can't do that.
But the shakes are the only good part of Steak and Shake.
Really? And then Shake Shack.
The steak part? The 50% steak that goes into Steak and Shake is not good.
It's the secret ingredient in the shake. It's just raw meat. It's just get it in there, and you're like,
steak and
dang,
shake. It's just good steak shake.
No, some people mispronounce that steak and shake. It's steak in shake.
Oh,
the steak is inside the shake. A lot of people
is that what the ampersand actually means?
It means inside of. It was it's an error in translation. Really
translated from the Greek.
Yeah, from the Greek steakio shakio.
In Athens was the first Steak and Shake.
Yeah, I'm almost certain it was
in the Parthenon.
It was Hermes.
Actually.
It was Hermes that did it. He whipped that out real fast. And they've since gone away from the speedy nature to now be the opposite, where they take 5 years to give your order back.
Yeah.
But rather
Shake Shack.
Shake Shack. This is troubling me.
This is terrible.
This is really hard for me. Shake Shack, like Shaquille O'Neal, is much better. I went there one time.
Yeah.
Good stuff. The fries are
they're okay.
Those the really small, really skinny ones, right?
That's also at Steak and Shake.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how much I like those fries, to be honest with you.
But they're better at Shake Shack.
But they're so much better. The burgers, very good. The Shack burgers, if you will.
Yeah.
Which is what they're called. It's not my nickname.
But the thing is, you also like you get them, and it's like $400. you're like, I guess I'm selling my child.
I guess I'm selling my soul.
Well, yeah,
selling my firstborn.
It's like Five Guys, but even worse somehow.
Good grief, yeah.
But Five Guys.
All 5 of them immaculate.
I love eating all 5 of the guys.
That's another misconception. The burger's actually made of the men.
Yeah.
May they rest in peace. Allah Hamed. What's the plural of?
Allah Hamha. No, I don't know. That's for
because Allah Hamed is may he rest in peace. Allah Hamha is may she rest in peace. No. But they, what's the conjugation?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Mom, what's the conjugation? What is known in real time?
Where's Mrs. Conway?
But with that being said, where were we?
I don't even remember, man. Oh yeah, it was you said the free fries for 3 steals.
So
I'm really
Jordan Cambridge could have gotten us like almost 3 free fries. Yeah, by herself.
And do you know what? I don't even like the fries. That's a great deal. Free fries? Fries cost like $20.
That costs you like your left pinky. I open my wallet and I'm like, oh, I ain't got enough for the fries. Oh shoot, I didn't give them my... They're like, you want to make that a combo? And I'm
like, oh, do I have to give you my left arm? Have you seen the old Vine? It's Cody Ko and he's like shopping at Whole Foods, be like, just a thing of bananas, that'll be $400,000.
Can I use a coupon?
Do you have a coupon or something? That's what it feels like to be at Shake Shack. It's nuts.
That's crazy.
They have them in they got a couple in Nashville. But I don't know if they have. Do they have them in Knoxville?
No.
Dang.
I've never been to a Shake Shack.
Canes in Knoxville, which easily makes up for anything ever. And it's at UTK's campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They the first time I'd ever been to Shake Shack was when I went to New York.
Really? They have Shake Shacks in New York? Who started Shake Shack? Was it actually Shaq?
It was Shaq. It's actually Shake SHAQ. It's Shake Shack. Are you done with women's basketball?
Yeah, I'm done,
okay, I can talk about football then.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up.
So, okay. So, National Signing Day, we had 5 people sign their letters of intent. We had 2 defensive backs, a tight end, an offensive lineman, and a quarterback that all signed to come to Vanderbilt. Also, based on 247's, I think like
247 Sports is a website. In case you're dumb like me.
247 Sports. Okay, I'm just going to read this because I don't remember the exact numbers. It says Vanderbilt's class is ranked 29th overall in the 247 Sports composite and 20th in 247's own rankings.
Yes. Rivals
has the class at 33rd. Both rankings represent Vanderbilt's best finish since the 2013 class.
Yeah, I saw a metric today that was like, I think we're number 12 class in the SEC, which is interesting.
Which is 12 of 14.
12 of 14. But considering, like, if we were in the Pac-12, we'd be the number 3 class in the Pac-12. We'd be the number 6 class in the ACC. We'd be the number 5 class in the Big East. That's nuts.
There's no Big East in football.
It was I read it this morning. It's been a long time.
It's a Big Ten.
No, it's not the Big Ten because I feel like they're better at football than that. It was it was the Atlantic Conference or something.
I'm telling you, it's the Big Ten.
No, what's the one in the East that's not the ACC?
The Big Ten.
No, what's the one that like Providence is in?
The Power 5 is SEC, ACC, Big Ten, Big 12,
Pac-12.
Pac-12.
Yes, but there's a 6th one that I'm thinking of that includes Eastern schools like Providence.
I don't know.
The Friars. Do you know what a Friar is?
What conference is Providence in?
A friar is one of 2 things. It's either like a male nun.
I mean, that is the Big East, but it's basketball.
Or...
What is Providence football in?
Or a small chicken. Slightly larger than...
Oh, I guarantee, because looking at the Big Ten...
I can't remember what they're bigger and
the Big Ten's top recruiting classes are going to be Ohio State.
Michigan
State. Iowa.
Your mom. She has a recruiting class.
Minnesota, maybe?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Penn State.
Wisconsin?
Penn State whiskey. I think
all of those guys are going to have better than Vanderbilt, but like The little bums at the bottom, like
Rutgers.
Rutgers. I actually am gonna look into Rutgers for grad school.
Rutgers is a good school.
I don't want to hate on them.
Kenny Britt went to
Ira
Rutgers.
Roseman teaches. Fun fact.
I don't know who that is, but I know
he's
that's
a
where
psychological
Kenny
guy.
Britt went to play football.
Kenny Britt went there?
Yep. That is rookie card.
My dad likes Rutgers for some reason.
It's interesting.
He's like, yeah, Rutgers. Whenever he sees them on TV, he's like, yeah, I like them. And I'm like,
they're bad at everything.
Because I think he thought that they were in the Ivy League, and I'm like, no, they're in like the Big 12. And he's like,
yeah.
Oh.
So I don't like him no more.
I feel like it was along those lines. But yeah. Shout out to my dad for picking random sports teams to just really enjoy. Like the Chargers. We like the Chargers because of the blue and yellow and the uniforms.
The powder blues are to die for.
Yeah, I love that. They're a good team.
But do we?
I also like Herbert. He's a cool guy.
Yeah. I also liked Phillip Rivers back in the day.
Didn't he have like 55 kids?
Yeah, he has like 17 or something.
11. Yeah. And only one of them are a dude.
Rip.
Yeah. Because they get one heck of a soccer, lacrosse, volleyball,
football.
Well, yeah,
offense.
I suppose. They could have one heck of a kicking core.
Well,
so,
do you have anything else?
I don't think so, other than...
This might have been a bit of a shorter episode for you guys. But I know that we're both kind of exhausted. Yeah,
and really there's just not as much pure content.
Yeah.
I know we just got ranked number 2 in baseball by some other website. I don't really understand how baseball rankings work because with basketball, there's the Associated Press that puts out their poll.
The AP poll does happen in baseball.
Yes, but in baseball, it's like, we're ranked number 2 in this poll and number 3 in this poll. And why are there 75 different polls?
Doesn't the AP combine them all in basketball too?
No, it's
I don't know
different sports writers and people.
I don't know. Now the point is that we're a good baseball team and we'll be playing in 2 weeks against another very good baseball team in Oklahoma State.
True.
And that will be
the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. At the Hawk, I will be at all of those games, I believe.
True.
Yeah, I think I'll be at all of those games.
What days are they?
The 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Cool. What days are they?
Not this weekend, but not this weekend or next weekend, but the weekend after. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because it's this weekend is nothing, next weekend is Valentine's Day weekend, and then the next weekend is our first baseball games.
Valentine's Day. What's that, the 14th?
The 14th is a Monday.
Is it always the 14th?
Yes.
Wow, if the fact that I don't know when Valentine's Day is isn't indicative of something, I don't know what it is.
The podcast brought to you by Willem's Lonely Life.
Wow, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like well, then again, I have a hard time remembering what day Christmas is on. I want to say the 25th, but it's not. It's the 24th. No way.
That had to be a bit.
Dumb.
That had to be a bit.
No, because every time I'm like, well, my family really celebrates Christmas on the 24th.
Why?
Will we just do everything on Christmas Eve?
Why?
So then I think, Christmas is the 24th because that's when we do everything. Because that's when my Papa Rick would come over and all them. Shout out to Papa Rick.
Shout out Papa
Rick. He bought that hoodie that's over there. He's absolutely wonderful and he's a very nice guy. Yeah. I aspire to be him. He just got married too, so congrats.
Yeah.
That was like almost a year ago, but
belated congratulations.
And in geological time. He just got married. Shout out to what's her name for teaching me that. What's her name? Professor Lily
Claiborne.
That's where I found Spencer.
Anyway,
but now that we've gotten in our sufficient ramblings,
I think it's time sign off. We will see you guys next week with a very, very special guest and episode. That would have been the thumbnail. But so we'll see you guys next week. All right, bye.